Hi, friends. Welcome to tax season. If that sentence just made you nervous, gave you a little, made your stomach drop, okay, it's because nobody loves tax season, okay? We always, whether you're a tax preparer or you're a tax payer who's having their taxes done or doing your taxes yourself, you always feel behind, all right? You're not alone. We all feel like that. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong, you guys. It's because tax season it's stressful because the process and the timing of tax season, they're not designed to feel simple. All right. It is a very short time frame that we call tax season, and you are responsible for getting a lot of information through different channels. All right. I'm Bree Bears. I'm a CPA, and I'm here to make your tax season easier, calmer by providing you some clear steps that you can follow, whether you work with my firm or not. So today we're talking about household changes that affect your taxes, even if your income didn't necessarily change. And the reason these are important is because a lot of times they're overlooked. All right. And the one simple rule I want to start out with is if your household changed, your tax return changed. Okay. Even if your income doesn't. So what we're talking about today is the big changes that we can flag early. And that is marriage or divorce, a new baby or a new dependent. Maybe we adopted, maybe we, have some other sort of family member or non-family member that we are now responsible for financially. That happened. If we had custody changes or if we had a dependent age out or start college. All right. So real quick on those things, marriage or divorce. Obviously, that's a big one. If we got married, that changes our filing status. If we got divorced, it changes our filing status. Okay, new baby or new dependent, that may qualify us for additional credits. All right, it may or may not change our filing status depending on if we're married or not, but it could. Custody changes. So this is one, you guys, even if your custody arrangement is not new, I recommend reminding your accountant of your custody change each and every year. Right? We have a lot of clients who maybe split kids. We have some clients who get even years or odd years. And while we can all hope that our accountants record all of that and document all that, sometimes things get missed, sometimes things change, sometimes for whatever reason. So if there's any sort of custody change, even if it's not a new custody arrangement, if your 2025 custody looks different than it did in 2024, give your accountant a heads up. Or if you're self-preparing, make sure your tax return reflects that. All right, and the last one is dependents aging out or starting college. And if you have a tax preparer, usually this is a question they will ask. All right, we have their birth dates, okay, but we don't know when they graduate high school, we don't know if they went to college, based on just your documentation, especially if we don't have everything yet. Or when they start college, right? Sometimes they're dependents through college, but then they graduate and then they're not a dependent anymore. So making sure you let your accountant know if you have any dependents who aged out, started college, or ended college. All right, and when I mean tell your CPA, I do not just mean upload documents and hope they notice. I mean, in whatever way your accountant prefers to communicate, make a note or send a message that clearly states what changed and when. For us, that's making a note in your organizer, all right, for your client organizer. In the client organizer, there's a questionnaire that asks a ton of questions, like including a lot of these phase changes. And if you mark yes, give us detail about what changed. Okay, couple examples of details that might matter. Okay, so if you have new dependents, we're going to want their name, date of birth, social security number, childcare information if applicable, and then again, like I mentioned already, your custody agreement details. All right, and all of this information, again, yes, it's going to come through at the end. And when you go to review your return, you might notice, hey, you claimed this kid who's not actually, mine to claim this year. Or, hey, I had a baby last year. I don't see that. All right. At the end, you're now creating more work and delaying that process. Whereas if you give this information to your preparer at the get-go, you're avoiding that roadblock up from happening up ahead. All right. So you guys, again, you're not behind. the system is complicated. You weren't taught it. So the system works better when you communicate changes early rather than, again, like I said, letting them surprise come up at the end. And my goal is to come in here every day and help you with these little tips and tricks to make tax season easier by giving you these simple, repeatable steps, these little steps in the system, okay, not make some noise. So if you are a taxpayer, specifically, we at Beers and Associates, we work with business owners, and you're looking for more than just tax prep, it'll start with tax prep because that's where we're at, is tax season. But if you are looking for full audit protection on your tax prep, annual tax analysis, tax strategies, projections, we are your place. So go ahead and go to our website and book a tax discovery call, and let's see if we're a good fit to help you out. And I have to end with, this video is educational purposes only. I am not giving you individual tax advice. Have a great day.